What's going on, 7th and 8th graders? Hope you guys had a great weekend. Let's go ahead and dive into it. This is the lesson for the week of April 12th. The week of April 12th. And we're going all the way down. We're again got to go through Clever to get to code.org. Then we're going down on Unit 3, Interactive Animation and Games. And you're going to lesson 12, sprite movement. This is going to focus, of course, on trying to make your sprites move. And I've looked through this several times, and this was a tough one, guys. This is a tough one. Going to take definitely some thinking outside the box. We're going to get through this together, so don't give up on me. And let's go ahead and make our way to lesson 12, Bubble 1. Lesson 12, Bubble 1, the lesson objective and question of the day: how can we control sprite movement in the game lab? How can we control it? And it's a pretty cool little tool that you're going to see here. Let's take a look. Now, the first one here is a prediction. And I will tell you, I got it kind of wrong, kind of right. So take that for what it's worth. You'll have to type a short sentence here. But let's look at what this new block is. It's called the counter pattern. I kind of compare it to like a scoreboard because it keeps counting like a scoreboard. You know, you score a goal, you score a basket, your score goes up. Well, this is kind of like that. Your score will go up depending on what you go, or maybe it moves up or to the side so many pixels. So it's kind of can be used to count things, can be used to move things. And it's the counter pattern. This pattern is one of the most important ones in all the program. And this is a big one, guys. It's this block right here. It's used to create the value of a variable by increase the value of a variable by 1. You might call it the counter pattern. Since it can be used to make a variable that counts up, you'll use this pattern a lot, especially with the draw loop. Let's see what happens. So we learned about the draw loop last week. It says do this. This program creates a variable counter and then uses the counter pattern to make it count up. When you run the program, what do you think you'll see on the screen? So it says read the program, make a prediction, what the output will be. Run the program to check your prediction. Can you explain what you've observed? So I thought a mini scoreboard that increases the value by 1. So I was kind of right. Now notice it's in a draw loop. So remember from last week, whatever's in this draw loop, it will continue to count up. So it will count up by 1. And it's going to count up by 1 over and over again because it's in a loop. Now, where I messed up was it's not a mini scoreboard. Well, it starts small and it gets really big over time. So it's on a white background. It's a counter. The text size, and of course it kind of gets so big that it takes up the whole screen, and that's why it started at 0 and it ends at 400. That's what those numbers mean, and I kind of overlooked that. But notice our block, counter plus 1. Now let's go ahead and click finish. Remember, you got to type a short sentence to get to 3. Now bubble 3 is how you animate sprites, and she's going to do a lot better job of explaining how to use the counter pattern. All right, let's watch together. It's only about a minute long.
You can animate with sprites too. To do this, you'll need to update their properties inside the draw loop using the counter pattern. For example, this program creates a sprite called MySprite. Then, inside the draw loop, it uses the counter pattern to increase the sprite's X position by 1 in each frame. This makes the sprite move smoothly across the screen. Adding a second sprite to a program is easy. you just use the create sprite command again. This program animates two sprites called Sprite 1 and Sprite 2. Sprite 1 uses the counter pattern to move across the screen by adding 1 to its X property. Sprite 2 moves down by adding 1 to the Y property on each tick of the draw loop. These sprites have lots of other properties, but our program only needs to deal with the ones that are changing. Sprites already help you write more readable programs, and they are going to be extremely helpful and powerful tools for making fun games and animations. So stay tuned.
Now you saw the end result there, how cool that was, that they made those games that move, and all that can be, of course, that's way down the road, but all using this new counter block and counter pattern that you've got to learn and memorize, okay? Now let's look here. We're going to do bubble 4 together. It says, using the counter pattern, you can write programs that animate sprites smoothly. Adding to or removing from a sprite's X or Y property in the draw loop makes your sprite move just a bit each time it's drawn. Read the code that makes the jet go up the screen. Add code that makes the plane move to the right as the sample image. So take a look at how the jet, or the what do they call that? The jet is moving. The plane is not in ours, okay? So we got to figure out how to make that move. So like we did last week, I hate to use this word, we're going to do a little bit of copy, okay? They've given us the answer. We're going to kind of copy it to help us learn. So up here is normal. They've just created the sprites, the jet and the plane. So we all know that. Create the jet, create the sprite. Then they use the draw sprite. Now, this is the new block. Notice they wanted the jet to go up the y-axis. So they said jet.y, we want it to move up. And we want it to move up pretty quickly, 3 times. And it's going to repeat over and over and over again because it's in the loop. So I'm going to copy this exact code. It's several blocks all into one. But I'm not going to use Y. I'm going to use X because I want that plane to go on the X-axis, not up. I want it to go over. And notice these gray blocks. It's telling us to put it here. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to the purple because it's purple. I'm going to go to this right here. Put it underneath. Okay? I'm going to type the word plane. No, I'm not. I'm going to go to sprites, because look at the red, and I want to change the plane's X value. I'm going to type the word plane just like that, because they've typed notice I'm matching it. Okay, and it's X because I'm wanting it to move over. That's the X coordinate. And then I've got to add my counter. How much do I want it to move? So I go to math, it's orange. I want it to go up. Or I want to think about this like a coordinate plane. So I'm going to go plus this time, not minus, plus 3. Okay. Nothing yet. All right. I go back, use that same block again. Again, I'm just copying number 9, but I'm writing the word plane. I'm putting X. I'm going to put a 3 to make it go quickly. And there we go. Notice both are moving just like so. I copied bubble 9. Let's see it again. I changed the X coordinate of the plane to go plus 3. It's going pretty quickly. And I just kind of copied. A lot of these, if you'll look and you'll read it, it's got an example, because we're trying to learn here. This is a tough lesson. We're trying to learn here. So look for that example within and read the instructions. So that's where I'm going to leave you with number 4. Did the first 4 together. And now you're going to start with 5. 5, 6, on 6, you got to figure out how to move that mouse. 7, I believe that one's the short one. Yep, 7's a short one. You just got to look at the code, and you're going to choose A, B, or C, or D, what you think is correct, making a prediction. So you'll click A, B, C, or D. Now, number 8, I do want you to do all 3 of those, A, B, and C, on number 8. Number 9, is kind of the assessment at the end. See if you can recreate that. The blue fish should move the fastest, and the green should move the slowest. So you got to kind of gauge that. And number 10, I'm going to give you a break today. We're not going to do number 10. It's the challenges, and this lesson's tough enough. Now, if you want to try those, you definitely can. But we're not going to do number 10. Number 10 is not required. We're going to ask you to go from number 5 to number 9 today. 5 to 9, sprite movement, lesson 12. Good luck. And this one's a tough one. Shoot me an email if you need help. And I'm Mr. Noakes, and I'm out of here. We'll see you guys, and have a great week. And if you're at home or a remote learner, work with a partner on this if you need to. This one's a tough one. See ya. Good luck.